This is the game I played against someone who's called Rook U93. This is the game that got me to 1,000 elo at first before I dropped down, but now I'm back up to 1,000 elo. So, firstly, we started off with obviously D4 because I'm gonna play the Queen's Gambit, and here everything's just book moves, so I'm not really gonna explain them too well. Hopefully, I can remember why I made those moves and stuff like that. I appreciate the sub cookie and the like. Appreciate it a lot. It's good to have new people. Yeah, man. So here, my opponent makes his first inaccuracy where he goes D6 when he was meant to just take. But like, I don't even think I capitalized on this. I don't believe I did. Okay, so I played an okay move, but the better move was to take. And then he plays a book move here because obviously I know he's setting up for the King's Indian defense, which I've played against so much recently. Like all my opponents tend to just be playing the King's Indian defense. And then here he castles, and then I played the best move, which is obviously pushing my pawn into the center, whilst also allowing my bishop to now have some space. He attacks my bishop, I retreat again, and here I make a blunder. The reason why I made this blunder was like since I was needing to win this game in order to reach 1,000 elo, I was panicking. Not panicking in the sense of like, oh, I don't know what to do. I was I was so focused on my idea that I would oftentimes believe that it didn't have any flaws. So I moved that knight, forgetting the queen could just take, and he takes. And that's like as you can see here, black is completely well, not completely winning, but they've got a massive lead, as you can see by the eval bar. And then here attack the queen, and here was where he made his first error because I knew now that his queen's in a tight spot. All I have to do is just pin the knight to the queen, and he makes a blunder there. Now I'm up 1.2 on the eval bar. Then I play a great move attacking the knight. Can't move the knight because he loses the queen. So then he pushes there again. That's an inaccuracy. See, I moved my rook. Yeah, the reason why I moved my rook was I was originally thinking if I take with the pawn, if I take, let me go back. If I take like this, right, he always has this, which is a check on my king. Yeah. So to stop that, what I ended up doing was playing rook to h2. But obviously, I would have. So in my head, I was thinking, yeah, I'll still lose the rook. So I was like, cool, I'll firm that though. Which, but then eventually I calmed down a bit, and then I realized, okay, we don't need to lose all these pieces. So I played a great move here, which is bishop takes knight. He takes back, and I take with the queen, and then he see the moment the queens got off the board, I knew that I will somehow manage to outmaneuver my opponent. Like in the end games, I've been taking my time, I've been enjoying them and stuff like that. So yeah, so here a castle, which is the best move. I was actually very nervous about this move here. Like when this happened, because obviously I knew that he was trying to get on to this square here, and I was like, if I castle, can't he still do it because I can't take back? So then I'm gonna have to move my king, and then he could have. But then I realized there wasn't anything for him to really take, so he wasn't gonna make that move. So I castled. He pushes that pawn again. As you can see, my advantage is just increasing here. My advantage is just getting better and better. I attack the knight retreats. I move my rook to double up here because what I was actually planning on doing is sacrificing my bishop. But obviously he stops it. Here I made my first inaccuracy, which is push here. But the reason why I did that was because, as you can see, I thought he was going to start taking. Because the moment this side would open up, it's the side where his king is. My king's not being attacked, but I'm attacking his king. But obviously he starts to move his king and stuff like that. And then we start trading. And now I play a great move, which is knight to b5. Obviously, when I played knight to b5, my original idea was to attack here if he didn't move it, but obviously my opponent did notice that. So then here, again, it wants me to sack my rook. Let's see why it wants me to sack my rook. So if I sack my rook, he takes like that, then I take, right? Ah, okay. So if he comes here, I just go up, I believe, right? I go up. All right, so he comes here. I'm pretty sure yeah, yeah. I could do this to win a pawn, but I don't even really like all of that. But like, yeah. So I was not gonna sack my rook. There's no way I'd sack my rook within the first. Well, with the last game, I need to get to 1,000 elo. So yeah, we just continue playing, and then at some point here, my opponent, we were just playing. As you can see, it's completely even right now, and I know that at this level, if you don't make mistakes, your opponent will eventually make a mistake. So we just continued playing. He doubled up there, obviously, And I was like, okay, let's start trading pieces on this side. As you can see, my advantage is starting to come, but slightly. And I move my rook here, so I knew that's gonna attract his attention, and he's gonna forget about the pieces on the side that he's actually been attacking. He moves his rook, which is a blunder. And you know what? Normally, I never notice things like this because the pressure's so high. I never notice these little things. But here, I take the rook, and the moment I took the rook, I knew I was in a good position. However, in this position here, this bishop move will later come to cost me because I moved my king away, which is the best move, but it did leave my bishop hanging, but my pawn didn't take it there, right? And here I put my king here, which is the best move again, because now my king's completely safe. And he goes here. And I move my rook out the way, even though I should have actually taken a pawn with the bishop. But it's okay because, again, I'm up a rook. So even if he takes this bishop, I'm still up 2 points of material, which it does take, which is a question mark. Now I've got mate in 6. I play a great move, mate in 5. He goes here, which is the best move. And I go here. So obviously, he's going to have to now put his king up, right? And I can win the bishop, or I can, like, there's a multitude of ways. So let's just press explain, and it's going to show you how I'm going to checkmate him. Like, yeah, see, just like that. But I'm sure there's a multitude of different ways as well to checkmate. But yeah, that is how I managed to get to 1,000 elo, and hopefully I can stay there. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Take care.